Hello, lovies. Welcome. So, I wanted to talk today about food storage. And that I know that means a lot of different things to different people. Um, but I I have had to go through my learning and growing phases with that. I always kind of used to have early on. I had this mindset that anything I needed was just readily available. I could just, run down to the store real quick. It's so close to my house. I could just run really quick and just pick up what I needed. Um, and then I've kind of gone through times in my life where money was tight, and especially when the pandemic hit and no stores had some of our basic needs. Um, where other people were really stockpiling, that I think kind of set me on high alert, where I became anxious that I wouldn't be able to provide my family with things that they needed. And so I started kind of like hoarding things and, really keeping an overstock of things in our home. But I'm trying to find the balance now. Um, and I don't like clutter. I hate having clutter in my home. It makes me feel really like, on edge. I don't like it. Um, so, so I'm trying to kind of get things reorganized now. Um, so this week, I am going to be kind of focusing on our food storage, meaning like the pantry, the fridge and the freezer, and then we have like our big freezer here. So for me, everybody has their different techniques, but something that works really well for me um, is kind of just like moving everything out, and then cleaning up the space, the pantry or the fridge, whatever it may be, just really giving it a nice clean. And then looking at my inventory of stuff and trying to figure out what to put where. And that helps me a lot, because sometimes in the everyday rush of things, for example, we'll buy a bag of chips, and, maybe we want, different people want different flavors. We'll have like 3 or 4 bags of chips, and then somehow, like, just in the everyday hustle and bustle of life, they'll get kind of buried under other things. And so I'll buy more chips, and then we have like a bunch of open bags of chips. And it's really cluttery and messy, and kind of drives me crazy. Some people, doesn't bother them, but for me, it's really difficult some days. So that's why I like pulling everything out and then just cleaning the space, and then basically organizing everything, putting it back in, and anything left over, anything that doesn't fit, I'm done with it. I'll trash it. I don't like to be wasteful usually, but I'm really trying to just find that balance of not buying so much food that there is no place for it in my home. Of course we can fit it, but that's not the point. That's not what we want to do. We don't need 10 bags of chips, just in our household. So I'm trying to reduce in that way. And that way everything can just be organized, and the things we want and need will be more readily available for us. And the things that maybe are just a little bit extra clutter, we can remove from that space. So in my household, we have a habit of kind of going through spurts where we get a lot of junk food. I think that's our biggest problem with clutter is, different moods call for different indulgences. But I'm trying to again, just kind of reduce that a little bit. We don't need one of every kind of different candy and, all that other stuff. So in moving forward and trying to reclaim my health, as we talked about in a previous video, I just really want to clean that up and make it so that eating healthier, preparing healthier foods will be a little bit easier because everything will be organized. So that's what I'm focusing on this week, is just kind of cleaning out our food inventory, donating canned or boxed foods, pantry foods that aren't expired, that we just don't use. You can donate that. A lot of people are in need of that if you guys are cleaning out your stuff. Did you know? Oh my gosh. I found this out a few years ago, actually. Did you know there's a difference on our food, like between expiration dates, use by dates, and best by dates? That's something I didn't know before, but I actually found out a few years ago. So make sure you're checking those too if you're gonna follow along and reorganize your food stuff. I really encourage you to check out those dates. And anything that's expired, let it go. Take care of your health, prioritize that. And if you find that you're trashing a lot of food that you have a hard time letting go because you don't want to be wasteful, I think that's a great opportunity to reconsider what kind of things you're bringing into your home and if you really need them or not. And then, as far as like the use by dates, the best by dates, those aren't expiration dates, but they are important because they can tell you if certain foods are losing their nutrients. So they're safe to eat, but they won't offer you as much sustenance. Or, maybe it won't taste as good or things like that, even though it is safe to eat. So that's something I learned, and I think that's important to know. But yeah, that's my project right now is, especially going into the colder months. I always like to focus on the food storage stuff, out of convenience, because sometimes if it's not nice weather outside, or sometimes we do get sick or things like that, or things come up, life gets busy, and it's nice to be able to not have to worry about grocery shopping and cooking and things like that. It can be really helpful to yourself to have things readily available on hand and organized, so you know where to get it, what you have, and that it be available for you to use it. So that's just what I'm doing right now, and I wanted to share. I encourage you guys, if you don't, to take some time to organize your food storage. Make sure that you have a healthy stock of things that you need in your household. Just make sure you have it. So again, if you're having any bad days or anything, you don't have to worry about going out, running errands and things like that. You have it at home. But to try and find that balance where you're not like hoarding stuff and it becomes overwhelming. It's a lot of maintenance, guys. To have so much stuff at your house, it can be, well, for me at least, I find it really overwhelming and more stressful than it is convenient. So yeah, that's it. Next week, I'm hoping for something a little bit more fun, exciting. this is just a short one today. I know it's a little more practical, but again, in thinking about living our best lives, I think that's really important, is that we start with our home and think about what kind of foundation we're laying for ourselves. And, you know, are we taking care of our basic needs? And, you know, what can we do to make these things a little bit easier on ourselves? So that's it for this week. And next week, maybe something fun. I don't know. Check in and find out. All right. I love you, darlings, and I hope you have a great week. See you next time.